فإذا جاء وعد ربي جعله دكا وكان وعد ربي حقا.
قالوا يا ذا القرنين إن يأجوج ومأجوج مفسدون في الأرض حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج وهم من كل حدب ينسلون فما استطاعوا أن يظهروه وما استطاعوا له نقبا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brothers and sisters, how are you? Today is a very special topic we're going to be talking about, and everyone is interested in it, which is explaining the identity of Gog and Magog, or يأجوج ومأجوج in Arabic. We will talk about it from a very different angle, from the science angle, which I don't think that anyone before ever talked about it, and you guys gonna be shocked from the amount of information you will be having it. So just prepare yourself and repeat with me this dua, so Allah make us understand. Okay? رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Okay, اللهم آمين. First of all, what is the meaning of Gog and Magog? And I think most of you guys know the actual meaning in Arabic, in the language of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. But let me explain it for more clarification. So Ya'juj, coming from the root, the verb in Arabic, which means the one which make fire more. You know, when you are making fire, setting the fire, and the fire is about to be off, you will bring something to make air on top of the fire to make it more coming out. So this is you making Ma'juj now. You became a Ma'juj person. You are making the fire coming more by breathing air to it. And Ma'juj coming from the mawj, like the waves of the sea, or even the destructive waves of the sea, like tsunamis and this kind of stuff. So actually these two names are more descriptions than names to these nations or to these identities. So these descriptions describe to you how bad they will be and how destructive they are, and we will see later on. Number two, who was related, like in the story of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, who is the other story which is related to it, which is Zul-qarnine. Yes, Zul-qarnine, he is a good man. Allah saying about him in the Holy Quran that he is a good man. Allah give him control on things on earth. This control can be like by science or by knowledge, you know, or by power. So this, we will be talking about the particular part of his story, which is Ya'juj and Ma'juj, so we will not be talking about him a lot. So we want to go left and right a lot. So this guy, he went to a place where there is people complaining from some kind of other nations, which they are destroying them every time. So they told them, most of you guys know this story, but I will be just saying points in it that I'm sure that no one ever look at it. So they asked him, please make for us a barrier, a wall. They told him a wall. Wall in Arabic means سد. Okay, سد. فهل نجعل لك خرجا على أن تجعل بيننا وبينهم سد. سد means a wall. So he said, ما مكنني فيه ربي خيرا. Whatever Allah give me of power is خير, is good for everyone. I will use it in the good. But I will need your help. آتوني زبر الحديد, collect for me the raw material of iron and help me on burning it and putting it on top of each other till it become a heap of iron, and then make fire in it till it be burned, and then it be melted, liquid. After it is liquid and became one chunk of metal or iron, bring for me liquid copper. Bring for me liquid copper. So I pour it on top of this metal. But before he do all of this, did he agree that he will be doing for them a wall? Focus on the ayahs. I didn't see anyone ever explained this part. When they told him, make for us sadda, sadda is for wall, he said, no, I will make for you guys radma. فَعَيْنُونِي بِقُوَّةٍ أَجْعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ radma, not sadda. See, even the non-Arabic speakers will be recognizing the difference in the pronunciation between the two words. Sadda, radma, it is different, totally different. So what the difference between sadda and radma? What is the difference? The difference is sadda means a wall, a barrier, which hold what is behind. A barrier which hold what's behind. What about radma? It's also a barrier, but it doesn't hold what is behind. It holds what is under. Can you believe that? And right now, go bring the Arabic dictionary and look in these two words, sadda and radma, and you will be shocked from the results. And I don't know why any of the mufassirin or any, I didn't see any of them, or maybe one or two, that they explained the difference between these two words, and he didn't make a wall like everyone think. No, he didn't make a barrier which holding what's behind. He did a barrier which is holding what is under. And Allah is so specific in descriptions and in the language. Allah won't say radma if it is not a barrier which holding what's under. So a barrier which holding what's under, that means that holding who? This barrier will be holding who? يأجوج and مأجوج. So they are under the barrier. So where under the barrier? You will find so many, like this area that Zul-qarnine went. It is in the north, it's in the Siberia area. Why we say this? Because Allah said in the Holy Quran that this nation that they were asking for help from Ya'juj and Ma'juj, these nations were living in a place where the sun doesn't set. The sun never set in this region except after 6 months. Allah said, we didn't make between them and the sun sitra or a curtain. And in the Arabic language, they say the sitr or the curtain of the sun is the night. So the satr of the sun is when the night comes. So the night or the darkness is the cover of the sun, as Allah saying in the Holy Quran. So this is the place, Siberia, and this place is full of mountains, as Allah mentioned in the story of Zul-qarnine, that He did this barrier between two mountains, and He made this barrier until it reached to the top of it. But let me ask you, how it's something which holding what's under and at the same time reaching to the top of the mountain? Like how this barrier holding what is under or blocking what is underneath, and at the same time it's reaching to the top of the mountains. حتى إذا ساوى بين الصدفين. Like He made this barrier equal to the top of the two mountains. So you will find that this place was a cave which is leading to under the ground. Like I know that somebody will be calling me crazy because of this, but I want you to check it up. I will leave for you in the description a video which some Muslim scientists, they went there and they discovered this barrier with the iron pieces, with everything, and with the proof, with everything in video, and you will be shocked of what you will see. And wait, you are not shocked yet. At the end of the video, I will show you the actual pictures of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. And the science people, they know these pictures, but they never thought that these are Ya'juj and Ma'juj. So this barrier holding, it is actually a cave door, like a cave, and there is a mountains. Like it is not actually only two mountains, it's like so many mountains, chain of mountains. If you guys look at the Siberian mountains, it will be chains, like mountain after mountain after mountain, but there is two big mountains which in between down there is some small cave which leading to the bottom of the earth, and this barrier is shutting this door and shutting it till it is the edge of the cave from above. It is reaching to the top of the other two mountains which is beside it. You will see it in the video, which I will put it in the description, inshallah. So now we know that they are Ya'juj and Ma'juj not behind the barrier, they are under a barrier according to the Holy Quran. That explains also that so many people, they say, where is Ya'juj and Ma'juj? We have satellites, we have everything. We can scan every single part on earth. So how the hell we cannot find Ya'juj and Ma'juj? It's a lie. So I'm telling you guys, you didn't look at the ayah or the verse of the Holy Quran good. You need to go again and look and check the word Radm and compare it to the word Sadda, and you will know that it is not a barrier which holding what's behind, it's a barrier that's holding what's under. And Allah doesn't make mistakes in the languages. So now we know that Ya'juj and Ma'juj are somewhere under the ground, and they were living in caves and the mountains area and in the north, as we mentioned earlier. Now I said that I will be talking about Ya'juj and Ma'juj from scientific angle, and until now I didn't mention anything scientific. I only was mentioning the language explanation and the ayahs of the Holy Quran. Now the second part of the lecture, which is explaining it from the scientific part. So, to understand Ya'juj and Ma'juj from scientific part, we need to know the origin of human. You will be telling me now you will talk about Darwin and you believe in this kind of stuff. No, I just want to find the confusion which led to this kind of thinking about the origin of human. Darwin was saying that in a way that we are originated from chimps or apes, or some say that we are cousins, at least if they are not our grandparents. So we have a common ancestor, like a common grandfather. So I actually look and studied this evolution theory, and I found that so many weird things going on. Like, for example, they say we are 99% sharing, or there is 99% similarity between the human DNA and the monkey's DNA or the chimp DNA. And they depend on this as a solid ground. So actually I went and I studied in the details, and in the details you will find the answers. So when I checked in the details, I found out that not only we are 99% sharing the same DNA with the chimps, we are also sharing 99% of the DNA with one kind of rats or mice. So how come? How come we are not looking like rats? Something else, that we are also sharing 60% with the fly. So how come we don't look like a fly? Like at least 60% we need to look like a fly if we depending on the similarity between the DNA. Something else, and I know some people, if you guys will like this, but it's mentioned also in their scientific field, that says 69% of the chromosome X, like the chromosome X is 69% similar to the chimp chromosome X, and only 41% for the chromosome Y, similarity between the chromosome Y in the chimps. So that means that the women are 1.5 times closer to the monkeys than the men. Like they are 1.5 times monkeys more than us. So that doesn't mean any sense. And something else, in the human body, in one body, for example, my body, all my cells are 100% similar in the DNA. So does that mean that the bone cell is similar to the motor neuron cell, like the cells of the the nerve system? It's totally different. This cell is totally different than this cell, and yet they are 100% sharing the same DNA. So for God's sake, stop talking about we are 99% similar to the monkeys. That is a solid proof that we originated from monkeys or apes. This is totally nonsense. So this is one part. So some people will be asking me, so what about these fossils they found, and this Homo erectus and Homo Neanderthalensis and Homo whatever thalensis at the end? So I will be telling him that these are actually human races. These were not coming from monkeys or anything like that. No, this is human races. Like right now, look at our races in the human race. Like look at the Asians, look at the Europeans, look at the Africans, look at the Red Indians. Not even that, go farther than that, look at the dwarfs, which they get born till now. And also in some cases there is giants, human giants, that they are more than 6 meters and 7 meters. And I will show you a proof for that also. So these are human races. Like for example, before, in the old times, the group of dwarfs, they get together and they make their own cities. And these cities will be known that this is the city of dwarfs. And not only that, they marry each other and they breed, and their kids will be also, like by 99% maybe, that they will be dwarfs like them. So they make a community of dwarfs, a city, a whole city of dwarfs. So that doesn't mean that, oh, after maybe 1,000 years we found this city and we say, wow, we found any Homo shorties or something like that. No, this cannot be right. They are human race, but they got different than the normal. And maybe we also are different than the normal. Maybe the normal before was like the human should be like at least 10 meters tall, and we are short. The tallest guy was maximum 2 meters 60 centimeters. So don't tell me that these were not human. These were human, and they were human races, different human races, varieties. So when I was studying this part, I found something very interesting. I found a race which called Homo Neanderthalensis. And this race was living in the north. Not only this, they were living in the caves. Not only this, they were more stronger than Homo sapiens, like they call the modern humans, they call them Homo sapiens. And they say that the Homo Neanderthalensis was before the Homo sapiens with many thousands of years. But something happened and they shared 50,000 years together. That means that the Homo sapiens and the Homo Neanderthalensis, they were living together 50,000 years. And after this, the Homo Neanderthalensis perished suddenly with no trace, with no reason. And yet they were stronger than the Homo sapiens, they were smarter than the Homo sapiens. Why? Because their body structure is more stronger. Number two, that their brains were more bigger. So the scientists said there is 90% possibility that they were smarter and they are stronger. So how come they perished all of a sudden, like a snap? So I started to have in my brain some bulbs lighting up. And then I investigated more. So I found that these Homo Neanderthalensis are shorter than the Homo sapiens. Not very shorter, but like shorter comparatively to a Homo sapien, or the modern human as they call it. But they are wider. They are like tanks. And their skulls were bigger. And these parts are coming out. And these parts are going inside, and their noses are like wider. So they were shorter, they are more smarter, and they were stronger. So I investigated more, and I found out a hadith about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which give me goosebumps. So this hadith about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that they are shorter people and they are wider and their faces are like somebody give them a hammer. كالميجان المطرقة. ميجان المطرقة. مطرقة, you know, you guys say like in the Arabic language. I know that most of the Muslims know this word. الطارق والسماء والطارق. الطارق means the one which he was hammering or knocking or hitting or bombing. So the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that their faces are like somebody hit them with a hammer. That made their noses are like this, and this parts and the eye parts are going inside, and these parts are coming out like somebody hammered them, as you see in the picture. So I really got goosebumps, and I said, okay, now we got the actual pictures of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. And these pictures that you guys seeing it are according to the bones. They find skeleton and they bring this skeleton and they digitally create a picture like this, how this creature looks like according to the structure of the skeleton they got. When they add artificially like the, you know, like his shape. So now let's gather all the information and link them together in sequence. First, Zul-qarnine didn't make a barrier which holding what's behind. He made a barrier which holding what's under. He didn't make sadda, he made radma. Second, he made it using the iron and the liquid copper poured on top of it. Third, that this place was on the north in Siberia area, where there is a lot of caves and a lot of mountains. Now the science part. They said Homo sapiens, they lived together with the Homo Neanderthalensis for 50,000 years. Second, they said that this Homo Neanderthalensis were living in the north, where there is a lot of snow and where there is a lot of caves, and their houses were inside the caves. And there is so many caves which is huge. You can go and search it by yourself and you will see how the caves can be huge. Then they say that they perished all of the sudden. That the Homo Neanderthalensis, they perished all of the sudden. And they didn't understand why or how. Even so, they were stronger than the human, they were more smarter than human. So there is no possibility for the Homo sapiens to make a war on them and take them all out. And like all of the sudden, with no trace of war or anything. Even the bones, they are finding it in the caves, which is they take it as fossils and evidence of the Homo Neanderthalensis, and the human is originated from, as you know. So these bones are not injured or died in a war or anything like that, normally. And even most of it, they are actually graveyards, like they discover a graveyard and they retrieve the bones from it. And so many evidence that they were living in the caves. And second thing, that they were also shorter than human. The Homo Neanderthalensis were shorter than human. And they were wider than human. And their faces has like somebody hammered them. And when you look at the hadith about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he describing the look, how Ya'juj and Ma'juj looks like, you will find exactly the description. They are shorter, wider, their faces have like somebody hit them with the hammers. So with all this, when you link it together, you will find the result at the end that Ya'juj and Ma'juj were human race, as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, and they lived at the same time with the human until Zul-qarnine came, and with his special power or his special abilities or his special knowledge that Allah gave it to him, he could manage to hold them all in one place and make a barrier which holding them underneath. And that explains how they perished all of the sudden. So now we reach to the last part of Ya'juj and Ma'juj story, which when they will be coming out. Inshallah, they will be coming out, as Allah said, that when Allah make this barrier collapse, this barrier which holding them underneath collapse, then they will be coming out. And he even said that they will be coming out from the mountains. That means they are coming down from mountains area. وهم من كل حدب ينسلون. من كل حدب, حدب means mountains. ينسلون, ينسلون means like coming out and pouring out. And they will start to eat everything. They will start to eat everything they encounter. That even they will be drinking sea, salty sea, they will be drinking it. That the last of them will be passing, will look at the floor and he will say, it seems like there was water here. So you can imagine how many they are, how aggressive they are, how monsters they are. And they will be eating everything. And by this time, Isa alayhi salam will be already ruling earth, and Allah will be telling him that you cannot do anything with these nations. So he told Allah, so what should I do? He told him, take the Muslims, take the good people, take your people and go on top of the mountains. They came from the mountains, they will never want to climb on the mountains back. So this is the only area where they will not want to go back to it. They are done from the mountains. So Isa alayhi salam will be taking his people and they will be climbing on top of the mountain. And when they are on top of the mountain, they will be having lack of food, lack of water, lack of everything. So Isa alayhi salam will start praying for Allah, that Ya Allah, help us. What is this? What kind of nations are they? By this time, Ya'juj and Ma'juj already took over the whole earth, except the mountain areas, as I mentioned earlier. So when they took over the whole earth, they gathered together and they look up and they said, we killed everyone on earth. Let's kill the one in the sky. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. So they put their arrows or weapons, whatever they are, up and they shoot their arrows. So Allah wanted to make fun of them, like, what is this? You are so stupid, guys. You want to kill me with arrows? So Allah wanted to make fun of them. So he returned back to them their arrows and it has blood. So they said, okay, we killed the one in the sky. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. So by this time, Allah already arranged for them some kind of bug which come to them. It's called nagas. It's like a worm. It's like a worm comes and get inside. Some people, they say, gets inside their ears and eat their brain from inside, and some they say it penetrates their neck and start sucking their blood. So whatever this bug is, this bug, small bug, will be killing them all. So after they are all dead, Allah will send to Isa alayhi salam that it is done, you guys can come down. So Isa alayhi salam came down, but he found bodies. He didn't find a place for his foot to put it to touch the ground. it's covered with bodies. You can imagine the quantity of these people. So he asked Allah again, and he said, Ya Allah, they are evil while they were alive, and they still evil when they are dead. So Allah sent some kind of birds, and these birds, everyone took a corpse and went with it to throw it. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, they throw it wherever Allah wants them to throw it. But still, the smell of the corpse are everywhere. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, their bodies, the corpse, made some kind of oil which is covered the earth, and it is very bad smell. So again, Isa alayhi salam asked Allah, Ya Allah, help us in this. So Allah sent on earth some kind of rain everywhere, that this rain cleaned the earth. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, this rain made the earth looks like mirror, shiny mirror. And this rain covered every inch on earth, that the earth became like a mirror, shiny like a mirror. And then the earth, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, the earth went back to the time of Adam alayhi salam, that it became full of barakah, like everything became bigger. All the productions of the lands became bigger. That he said that more than 10 men will be gathered on a bunch of grapes, and they will not be able to finish it because of the quantity and the size of it. Then the earth will be ruled again with 40 more years in the rule of the Prophet Isa alayhi salam, and that's the end of the story of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will leave for you the video about the scientific team that they discovered the Ya'juj and Ma'juj places in the description under. And I hope you guys understood everything, and anyone has a question, please let me know in the comment. And thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.